That's why those will tell you cannot compete. You cannot compete. To them, it's competition. And in competition, you can use anything to win. Areyi ni Jawa. The Hausa Fulanis are competing. They know they cannot compete with you on that level. Kinani population. One you census data. One bimo journey. Continue to speak Turanti, saying that rubbish. They will conquer you. They will conquer you. And nothing will happen. The Ijaw people too are boosting their population. The Tiv people too are boosting their population. They are boosting their population. Do you know what it takes? Oh my God. Do you know what it takes to transfer 300,000 voters, PVC, from one region to another region in order to control the political outcome? 300,000. Ibo gan we gan na fi win ni Ekiti. Ibo me na fi win ni Osun. And a group don't share any border. The Southeast does not share any border with the Southwest. They were able to organize themselves. They got accommodation. They followed up in Abuja. They organized themselves, villages by villages, ward by ward, churches by churches. Many of the Catholic churches in Lagos became where they were registering for PVC. And they brought 300,000 voters to your space to take away the most powerful economic empire, political space the Yoruba people have in 20th, 21st century. And you think it is just a joke, and you can't joke with the Terekale. African man saw conservatism. I remember when we started conservatism. Many of you will run away when we started this movement. Now you think it's nice. All of you can just be using this term, no problem. Question, it's not somebody's term, but you should know what it entails. If you still want to be doing rubbish, you want to be sounding woke. When we talk about our survival, stay away from this ideology. You run a presidential system. In a presidential system, your number determines your future. Your numbers determine your future. Let me tell you something that happened in Kaduna. Kaduna is a Christian Muslim state. The Hausa Fulani on one side and the minorities in the southern and central side. In order to have a kind of political stability in Kaduna, it's always a Christian and a Muslim. A Christian and a Muslim for a balance of power. Because the population was almost 55%, 45%, sometimes 50-50. But I think El-Rufai got to know that the demography has changed. That the Muslims, the Hausa Fulani Muslims, are now the majority in Kaduna. What did he do? He damned the consequences and said he's going to choose a Muslim deputy. The southern Kaduna people rose up and said, oh, this is injustice. That's why a lot of southern Kaduna voted for Peter Obi, because they wanted to survive. That's why they hate El-Rufai till today and everything it stands for. What happened? El-Rufai won the first time. El-Rufai won the second time. Sorry, the second time. And he does not give a damn because the demography favors him, and heaven did not fall. So if you become a minority in Nigeria, that was what Chinedu Rosevivor was doing and saying in Lagos State. What was Chinedu Rosevivor saying in Lagos State? Abusing Yoruba Obas, abusing Yoruba culture, abusing Yoruba language. His wife was saying their language, using all sorts of derogatory names. Chinedu never follows Andrews that spit bigotry on the Yoruba race. Chinedu says all those Ekiti, Ondo, Ajoji Godogbo. It's on his page to this current moment. Do you know why Chinedu Gbadebo was doing that? Because they told him that the demography of Lagos has changed. The Yoruba people have become a minority. Therefore, he does not need the votes of Yoruba people to become the governor of Lagos State. That was what got into the head of Gbadebo. And more Chinedu Gbadebo is going to come for you. Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ pé lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ ni? Ntí Betty Akeredolu ṣe fún yín yẹn, ẹ̀sìn tó fi yín ṣe ní last week kò tí ì tó. Because you are a race. The Yoruba race are just like the Jews. Until they get to the Holocaust, pogrom, before they learn their lesson. Why should the Yoruba people wait until Ojukwu invaded Ore and started bombing Lagos before we determine what we are going to do at the Biafran War? We have never been a serious people. When it comes to making a decision of life and death, we have never been a serious people. Why should you vote for Peter Obi before you learn Igbe is an Igbo supremacist? It's just there's a problem in your ideology. It's a problem, there's a fundamental problem. And people like us are not going to mince words. Because, Peter Obi will go down tell me, I understand where Tinubu dancing. But still, you still don't get Nigeria. You don't get it. For us to not be a minority in the next 50 years, we must have 4 kids per parent. Both home and abroad. 4 kids per parent. Because the day you cease, the day Yoruba people stop being the second largest ethnic group in Nigeria, the Igbos will now be making demands. Why do the Yoruba people have 6, 7 states and we have 5? Why are the Yoruba people getting more resources and we don't get? And they are going to be giving you data. Population of Igbo is 80, 90 million. Yoruba is 60 million. And according to the constitution, and according to pre-colonial records, the Wasobia hegemony, we supposed to be on top, not them. Economic, we are contributing economic power. They are going to tell you that the Shekiri people contribute 33% to 35% of the oil and gas of Nigeria. But the Shekiri Lason, they cannot even boast of a senator in their ancestral homeland. They cannot boast of a single polytechnic NC is not in the Shekiri land. That is where you are going to know that even if you have all the resources in the world, in a country like Nigeria, built on hegemony, look, Nigeria was not built on fairness. Nigeria was not created on justice. We are just looking for fairness and justice within Nigeria. Everything, the federating unit in Nigeria was built by military boys. How do you now want to have you now want to play fair in such a country? That is why the Igbos and the Hausa Fulanis are far more better than you. Let me tell you something. The Hausa Fulanis are suffering from terrorism today. The Igbos might be suffering from terrorism today. If they get the required power, hegemony, and find that stability, they will in the next 30, 40 years. At a point in time, the Igbos were the most politically powerful group in Nigeria. The way you guys cry about Hausa Fulani today was the way our forefathers used to shout about Igbo domination in the First Republic. In the First Republic, it was more of Igboization agenda. And now we are talking about Fulanization and Islamization. The Igbos had ultimate power in the First Republic. Let me break it down for you. Apart from the ministerial positions where they controlled the stock exchange, they controlled everything controllable in Nigeria. They were even the vice chancellors of all the entire universities in Yoruba land. They were controlling Lagos. They were the head of government. Azikwe was the head of government. President in Lagos. There were 4 regions in Nigeria. After 1963, we had the northern region controlled by the Hausa Fulanis. the western region controlled by Akintola, and the Midwest controlled by Osadebe, an Igbo man, Okpara controlling the eastern region.